Hello my beginner buddies out there. Today we are going to talk about what should probably be your first scale when you're learning to play lead guitar. This is your basic introduction to the pentatonic scale. Alright, so the pentatonic minor scale is a scale of 5 notes. That's why penta, 5. And it is part of the full minor scale. It's just excluding a couple of the notes. The full scale is made up of 7 notes, and this is using just 5. And the pentatonic scale, it's very easy to play. It's kind of symmetrical. It stays in one place. And it is by far the most common thing you've heard in any kind of rock music. It is constantly used, everything from old Hendrix on up through all the modern metal music you hear. Now, of course, the real shredder guys are adding a lot of other notes in, but I can just about guarantee you that pentatonics are still a big part of their playing in certain parts of the songs as well. So you really can't go wrong with this scale, and it's hard to hit a note that just doesn't sound right. Now, all that said, let's take a look at what the shape of the pentatonic scale looks like, and then we'll talk about how you know where to play it. I'm going to start with it just in the key of A, and I'm going to post a little diagram for you here and also some tablature so you can see both of what we're doing. And in the scale of A minor pentatonic, we start on the 5th fret of the E string. Then we go up to the note C on the 8th fret, same string. Now we go to the next string. It's going to be 2 notes on each string. 5th fret, 7th fret. So our 4 notes are A and C, 5th and 8th. Now 5th and 7th, D, E. Next string is the same thing again with 5 and 7. G, back to the octave of A. We continue on. Next string is 5 and 7 again. So it's a C and a D. And the last 2 strings are both 5 and 8. You have E, G, then A, and C. Now, one of the great things about this scale is when you first start doing bends and are getting into more expressive parts of your playing, every bend in this scale, in the pentatonic, they're all whole note bends, so you're bending the same distance. You're not doing any of these half bends when you're playing a pure pentatonic scale, so you only kind of have to learn one distance of bend when you're first starting. So that's the scale again, just the basic pentatonic scale. And one of the beautiful things about learning scales on guitar is that once you know the scale, the shape of the scale, the way it looks, the fingering, I guess you could call it, you can play that scale anywhere and it looks exactly the same, and you've changed key by doing that. So here we play the A minor pentatonic. If I want to play, say, E minor pentatonic, I just have to find the note E on the same strings, here, open, or an octave up on the 12th fret, where there's 2 dots. That's why the 2 dots are there, because it's the same thing as the open. You can think of this as the big guitar, and this as the small guitar. So now I'm playing E minor pentatonic. And that all works exactly the same with the full bends. All in the same place. One little trick that guys do, just to show you something where they're shifting a little bit out of it, because it can get a little uncomfortable when you're working your way down. So like this note here is a little bit hard to reach. This is a G on the, in this case it's on the 15th fret of the E string. That same note appears here. This is a G on the A string on the 10th fret. So you'll see guys, when they want to end the scale, slide back instead of going. So just a little trick for you there to add into it, make some interest and make it easier to play. It is a very easy scale. It'll start to flow under your fingers very quickly because there's not a lot of different moves that you have to make. You've got those 3 strings that are all the same. And using those 2 fingers together is just, it's more natural, it's easy. You have a lot of strength in that 3rd finger when you want to bend. You can put the other fingers behind it to help with the bend. And even the higher parts here, you don't have to play them with your pinky. You can still use your 3rd finger. You can play this entire scale with 2 fingers. When you get to that part where you don't want to reach, it falls under the fingers very easily. So now the next important question is, well, how do you know which pentatonic scale to use when you're playing over a song? And generally, if it's a rock song that's in a minor key, which is a lot of classic rock and rock songs, so it becomes very easy to play the correct thing over it. If you have a grouping of chords in the song, say it's a good place to start is the first chord, the chord that everything kind of resolves to and is the basis of the song. In this case, I played an E. A, G, E. And it would be the right choice right away. But if you find that that doesn't work, if you're playing the scale, you just kind of have the track playing in the background and you're just playing the scale to see if it fits over it, try each chord. So if it didn't work over the E, if another chord in the song was the G, try the G. If that didn't work, try the A. So you would do the G pentatonic or the A pentatonic. So each one of the chords in the song, the key of the song is going to be one of the chords that's been played. So you can always get it right by trying each one of those until the one of them fits. And actually, you're going to probably find that more than one of them fits. You can actually play a couple of different pentatonic scales from the chords that are in the song. And one might sound a little bit out or weird, but in a cool way, and the other one all fits, and you can end up then mixing it up and using more than one pentatonic when you do your improvs or play leads over it and end up with some cool stuff that maybe you wouldn't have thought of if you just stayed in the one box. So there's your beginner's primer on pentatonic scales and where to use them. Hope that all made sense to you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm always happy to hear from you, and we'll answer as soon as I can. And until next time, keep making great music.
Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.